Hello, I'm Misty Rao. So the country that I chose is Australia that I will be speaking about today for my class. So I got most of my information on the Australian Government Home of Affairs page. If you would like to go look at any of the information, you're more than welcome to. That way you can get more in-depth detail than what I can give you in my 5-minute spiel on Australia. So if you're planning on going to Australia, some of the things that you need to remember, same as what our book talks about, is passports, visas, to check the flight, pricing obviously, because if you are going during, say, Christmas or Thanksgiving, it may actually be more expensive to go during that time. You want to look at peak times, those sorts of things, if money may be an issue for you. Telephone numbers, because obviously you'll be calling international, so you want to make sure you have something that can call international. Most cell phones can do so, so it's not that hard as it was back a few years ago. Whenever you're planning, you need to check things ahead of time, especially things that may take longer than just a day to complete or a couple of hours, such as that visa or passport. I know that if you're applying for that visa or passport, you do have to fill out paperwork, turn stuff in. Sometimes you may even have to go to the embassy. That could take even up to a couple of months to do that. So you want to make sure that you check those things out ahead of time, or you won't be going to Australia when you think that you're going to be going. So the culture. The culture in Australia is more of the Western culture. It's divided because it was owned by Britain. Well, still is, and it's influenced by that area. So depending on which area of Australia you go to, it may be exactly like Britain. The British colonization of Australia began in 1788, so that's where that comes from. The time difference, well, whenever I was finishing typing up and tweaking this piece of it, it was 6:48 here in Texas, and I'm close to Houston, and it's, as you know, Sunday. But in Australia, it's 11:48 in the morning on Monday. So there is a difference of 17 hours whenever you look at the time difference. For transportation, obviously we rely on cars a whole lot, but they rely more on wind speed commutes and trains and also buses. Currency, you have to get Australian money in order to use it. They do not take US money. You can get that transitioned from USD to AUD in the United States, or you can do it once you get to Australia. So for every dollar that's US, it's $1.28 Australian money. Ours is obviously US dollars, theirs is AUD dollars. So if you have $100 US, you would have $125.58 AUD. The language, 21% of the Australians actually speak English. So this would actually help if you are planning on going there, so that way they can understand you and you can understand them, and it makes life a whole lot easier so that you can enjoy your vacation. There are other languages that people speak, so you need to check that out as well, depending on which area that you go into. Some of them speak Mandarin, there's Arabic, Cantonese, Vietnamese, Italian, and even Greek. So make sure that you know which area of town you're going into. That way it makes it easier on you to be able to speak to them and have the culture. So the documents that are needed, most people would think that you need a visa or passport, but according to that website, a visa or passport is kind of optional. Traveling from the US to Australia, you do not need a visa to enter Australia, but once you are in Australia, you do need what's called an electronic travel authority, which is an ETA. So it's very similar to a visa or a passport. So you need to do a little bit more digging on that to make sure that an ETA is all you need, depending on which area of Australia that you're going to go into. It kind of works like an online visa. An ETA costs you in Australia $20 Australian AUD. And you can apply for this on the immigration website. The immigration website does have a lot of useful information on it. You can probably contact the U.S. Embassy as well, and they can give you information on Australia, or at least give you the number to the Australian Embassy. I know since I live in Houston, there are embassies all over the place, but since I'm close to the medical center and downtown, I know for sure the Mexican consulate and embassy is not even 15 minutes down the freeway from me, so I'm sure if I needed to, I could find an Australia embassy that was close by. I hope I gave you some useful information, and I hope everybody is loving the last of their semester. Have a good one.